Hey guys, Willie Creeman here, back with the AFC East to wrap up. We have the Buffalo Bills, who finished at 11-6, which was good enough for first in the AFC East, but they lost to the Chiefs in the divisional round. Listen, I thought last year was their best chance to be able to win the Super Bowl, right? Burrow's down and hurt. The Bengals are down because of that. Chiefs weren't playing great. They still couldn't manage to put it together, and it was just kind of sad. They lost a lot of guys in free agency, and they had to release a lot of guys too because the hits were just going to be too big on the cap. I mean, they still have Josh Allen, and he's still going to continue to produce no matter who's there with him. He has kind of a win it all costs type attitude, and he's going to figure it out there. One of the things that I enjoyed was that they they got rid of Gabe Davis. I just feel like this guy was so, and anyone that had him in fantasy understands the pain of having him go off for 2 touchdowns in 1 week and then get 2 catches the next 3 weeks. It was just brutal. And you need a guy that's going to produce week in and week out. Now they lose Diggs, right? Like they end up trading him away to Houston. Supposedly that's a good thing, but that remains to be seen. Like I don't know. Him yelling on the sideline at Josh Allen is not a good thing. You don't need wide receivers doing that to your quarterback, and it seems like maybe they needed a little bit of a reset there. So hopefully that's what they're able to do. But now they're kind of left with Dalton Kincaid, Curtis Samuel, and then who they end up getting in the draft. But you look like Cook has come into his own. They should ride him all next year. Like get back to running the ball, playing good defense, and like really riding him a lot. The defense, listen, they were so banged up last year. I feel like every week there was a new injury that came up that was just so difficult. But I'm a believer in Sean McDermott. I think they needed to add some immediate playmakers to that defensive side of the ball. And they did a little bit of that through the draft. So the AFC, if you look, a lot of it is the teams are getting better. It's getting harder for them to be able to compete because of that. But Buffalo may be set for a down year. I hope that doesn't happen to them. This division, I think, got weaker because of a lot of the guys that ended up leaving the Bills. But that may be in Buffalo's favor. They can get some new talent in there and be able to recharge. Their biggest free agent addition that I saw was Taron Johnson. Okay, not really an addition, but re-signing one of the top nickel corners in the league was an absolute necessity. I also have to shout out the re-signing of Deion Dawkins because like it can't be underestimated how having a reliable left tackle in the league is. You absolutely need a guy that can protect the blind side of Josh Allen. The worst free agent addition was Taylor Rapp. And again, this is a case where it's not like I don't like Rapp, but there's a guy like Justin Simmons out there. Like, why don't you go after a guy like that who you know can come in? He's an established all-pro that can really help your defense a lot. I just don't understand why no one's gone after that guy. Even on a 1 to 2 year deal, right? You throw a little bag at him. With all the guys that left, you freed up some cap space. Like, I really would have liked to see them do that. Now, when it comes to the draft, like this might have been one of the most disappointing drafts that I saw outside of Atlanta. And it was just the first round pick for me, right? Like every other pick, I do not mind. But what happened with that first round pick is just so frustrating to me. I just don't understand why you're doing the world champs any favors at all. They've been your arch nemesis for the last 4 seasons. Like, why would you trade down? Not even for like a lot of picks, like a lot in return. You got almost nothing to be able to trade down, and be able to allow them to take a guy like Worthy. I don't get it. Like, listen, I need to ask the question, like, does Buffalo feel better about Keon Coleman than they did Xavier Worthy? Like, I like Keon Coleman. I think he's a great player, and I'd love to have him in my locker room. But what they needed was a field stretching guy like Worthy. Why didn't you go after a guy like that? Instead, now he goes to the world champs and has Patrick Mahomes throwing him the ball. Like, it just super frustrating to see that. But I really think, I'm hoping that Josh Allen's able to bring the best out of Keon Coleman. He's able to gel with Kincaid, Curtis Samuel, and they're able to have a good team going forward here.